Hello, this is Victor at restoreyourmercedes.com. This video is for Alan in Montana, and this unit is from Mercedes E420. Okay, so 124 chassis. Now, Alan, so the unit is repaired. I did it quick as you requested, and it's been bench tested for about 2 days now. So this is a good record because I like to have them on the bench as long as possible. So this is how it's been working for 2 days straight. Now the wires were in horrible shape. It was just really bad, and clutch coil was dead as well. Another thing is, what I do notice is that it seems like your car runs pretty hot, so you want to double check on your fend clutch. Maybe you do a lot of stop and go traffic, because externally unit looks excellent. I mean, for the year you don't really have much of oxidation going on in these crannies, which is very amazing actually. But internally you can see that it's been pretty hot. It's been running pretty hot. You can tell, and I'll show you in a minute. Now this is how it cleaned off. Pretty much cleaned off to like the best you can clean it. This is just really nice. Now the covers are still open. I'm still going to double check on internals before I close it back up. After bench test I always do that. I'll just show you the temperature of the unit. As you can see, it hits mid-90s, which is fine. It's like even some hundreds. This is the cold unit. Unit hasn't been working, and you can see it's around 60, mid 60s, upper 60s. So this one hits 90s, so that's just to show that unit has been energized for a while. I also see this thing is a little bent. I'm gonna bend it back maybe a little bit. It's a very delicate kind of proposition because sometimes it breaks around the brim here, around this weld point, but it's okay. I'll figure this out. Just, it can be left along as is, but it's okay. Maybe I'll bend it just slightly. Okay, so before we go further with showing the temperature situation, let me show you the readings. Just want to show you the live readouts so we know where we are. Okay, let me just do it like this. So throttle is at idle, 4.26, 0.44, that's great. Micro switches jump around, they always do, but once we open throttle, they're supposed to switch to this setting, off on. When we go back to idle, they're supposed to go back to on off. The jumping on the readings is the software, it's not the throttle body. All of my tests, you can always see them jump. That's just the way they are. The software goes. Nothing to be worried about. I believe in your model, they don't even in play in terms of computer does not even check them. I just use different control module here, so it is visible. So basically, yeah, this is how it works. You can see if I go all the way to wide open throttle, our readings for potentiometers will change. So we got 0.62, 4.36. We go like somewhere halfway. We go to 322, 2.72, 318. Yeah, it takes a little bit for readings to come and stabilize, to come down or go up, whichever way, depending on where the throttle plate is and linkage, which you know, where linkage is and throttle is. That's just to confirm that the potentiometer works, and that's important. Now, going back to the heat situation, the coil actually melted. That is that was not repairable actually, the coil, because it melted in the area where you can tell that there's something very drastic happened to it. And I had to actually source coil from another throttle and rebuild that one and install it into your unit. Now, it's not severe case, but you see the color of potentiometer is a little yellowish. That tells me that it's been running hot, because usually a nice potentiometer will be this color, almost white, like not like polar white, but like whitish. This is more yellowish, so for that reason I can conclude that it's been running pretty hot. So this is pretty good. This is very delicate stuff, and I just want to just double check if I move the brain, the brushes are okay. So this everything here seems fine. This is how it's supposed to work, but very delicate, you don't want to get there. So let me just close the cover because I don't like to have it exposed. Oops. So I went too much and it triggered limp mode, because right now, as you can see, the unit is off, but I went too much because I have no cover, so there is no stopping. And if I move potentiometer R1, you can only see one value change versus both values change, which is limp mode. But that's fine. I mean, that's just the way it is, because I moved the linkage way too far to point of no return, pretty much. Let me put the cover back on, if I may. With one hand it's difficult because I have to line this up. I kind of like aligned it where I want it to be. Let's see if I can get this done with one hand real quick. Let me see. Okay, hold on a second. Come on now. It's hard to line them up because you don't see. Yeah, okay. You don't see where you put in cover, and if you don't line this up right, then you might break that little lever, and it will be pretty much the end of the unit as we know it, because then potentiometer needs to be dealt with, and that's a very difficult job. On this side, I specifically do not tighten up covers so I don't forget to put bolts back in. So when I take the unit off my bench and I hear the cover dangling around, because units can sit on the bench for quite a long time, then I hear the cover dangling around, and then I know that bolts need to be put up. Now on this side, everything is good. The rust is pretty much non-existent on this unit. This is a very clean unit, so this is nice. All soldered up and everything looks good, so you can't see nothing. But behind all these gears, where the coil is, deep down inside, there was melting going on, and the coil shorted out and finally just overheated and failed. So that is where we were. Alright, so let me just do, oops, okay, well, again, I'm making a video, just reset the unit. I'm gonna lose my life readings, most likely. Let's see if I lose life readings, yeah. But, yeah, so this is basically how it works. The linkage is nice and light, very, very nice, I liked it. So, we're pretty much good to go. I left your clamp here. This is how the clamp's supposed to be positioned. The ends of the clamp should face down, not sideways, just like this, just point down. If you're not going to put them down, they will hit one of the intake runners, one of the intake tubes. So you want it to point down, just like that. When you put new hose on, when you reinstall the unit, you have to have clamp facing downwards, like that. The hose goes on first, you must, otherwise you won't be able to fit the unit. I mean, you won't be able to fit the hose onto the unit if you're not going to install it before you install the unit back into the vehicle. Alright, so I guess this is a long video, but there was a few issues with the unit, so therefore I made it a little longer than usual. Usually it's just like quick test, but this one had some issues that were not standard. Okay, so this is basically going to be all for me, and yeah, so I'll pack it up now, and off it will go back to you today. This is Victor at restoreyourmercedes.com, and thank you for watching.